All these statues face one direction. Here's the mystery: this should not exist, but it does. Across different continents, built by civilizations that never end. Never shared language, never shared maps, there are statues. Hundreds of them. And they are all facing the same direction. Not approximately. Not symbolically. Precisely. Stand in front of one, and you might think it's coincidence. Move to another site, thousands of miles away, and it begins to feel intentional. By the time you reach the third, the question becomes unavoidable. How did they all choose the same direction, without ever communicating? At first, the explanation seems simple. Ancient cultures often aligned structures with the sun. East for sunrise. West for sunset. It's a pattern seen in temples, pyramids, burial sites. So maybe these statues are doing the same. Facing east, welcoming the first light of day. But that explanation begins to break down the moment you measure it. Because they are not facing east. Not exactly. They're off, slightly. Consistently off. By the same degree. Across locations that should have no connection at all. And that's where the mystery begins. Archaeologists noticed something else. The terrain doesn't matter. Some statues stand on mountains, others near coastlines, some deep in valleys. Yet their orientation ignores the landscape entirely. It doesn't follow rivers. It doesn't follow stars in any obvious way. It follows something else. Something consistent, but hidden. One theory suggests a lost navigation system. That ancient builders had access to a reference point we no longer understand. Not magnetic north, because the Earth's magnetic field shifts over time. And yet these statues remain aligned in a way that suggests permanence. Another theory goes deeper. Some researchers believe the alignment points to a specific location on Earth. Not a direction, but a destination. When the lines are extended across a map, they appear to converge. Not perfectly, but enough to raise questions. Questions about whether these statues were meant to point, rather than simply face. But there's a problem. That location doesn't seem special. No major ruins. No known civilization. Nothing that explains why so many distant cultures would orient their creations toward it. Until recently. A small research group, analyzing satellite data and ground scans, found something unusual beneath that region. Not a structure, not clearly. But patterns. Geometric disturbances in the soil. Subtle, but unnatural. Enough to suggest that something might be buried there. Something large. Something ancient. And suddenly, the statues feel different. Less like art. More like markers. But here's where it becomes even more complicated. Because when scientists recalculated the alignment using the positions of the stars, not as they are today, but as they were thousands of years ago, the direction changes. Slightly. But meaningfully. The statues don't just point to a place on Earth. They also align with a celestial position that no longer exists in the same way. Which raises a new possibility. That these structures were not only geographic, but temporal. Anchored to a specific moment in time. A sky that ancient people could see, but we cannot. So which is it? Are they pointing to something buried beneath the Earth? Or something that once existed in the sky? Neither explanation fully works. Both leave gaps. And the more we study them, the more those gaps grow. Because the real contradiction is this: precision without connection. Knowledge without communication. Intent without explanation. I once tried to stand in front of one of these statues at sunrise. Expecting meaning. Expecting alignment with light, with shadow, with something obvious. But nothing happened. The sun rose, slightly off from where the statue faced. Just enough to feel wrong. And in that moment, it became clear. These weren't built for what we see now. They were built for something else. Something we've already lost. Maybe the statues are not pointing at a place. Maybe they are pointing at a memory. A shared reference that no longer exists. And if that's true, then the mystery isn't just about where they face. It's about what we've forgotten. Because somewhere in the past, different civilizations, separated by oceans and time, agreed on a direction. And whatever they were looking at is no longer there. Because when the patterns were analyzed again, this time using advanced simulations, something even stranger appeared. The direction wasn't fixed. It had shifted, but not randomly. It followed a pattern that matched the slow movement of the Earth itself. Not the surface, but the deeper motion. The kind of motion that happens over thousands of years. This is where the mystery changes completely. Because now, the statues are no longer just pointing somewhere, they are tracking something. Something that moves so slowly that a single human lifetime would never notice it. Scientists call this phenomenon axial precession. A gradual wobble in the Earth's rotation that changes the position of the sky over long periods of time. Ancient civilizations are known to have observed the stars, but tracking something this precise over such long durations would require knowledge far beyond what we thought they had. And yet, the alignment matches. Not perfectly, but close enough to suggest intention. Which leads to a disturbing possibility. That these statues were not built for the people who created them, but for those who would come later. That they were meant to preserve a direction across time, not just space. Imagine that for a moment. You are part of a civilization that knows something is going to be lost. Not immediately. Not in your lifetime. But eventually. And the only thing you can do is leave behind markers. Not explanations. Not records. Just direction. Because direction survives. Even when meaning doesn't. Now here's where it becomes even more unsettling. When researchers compared these directions with ancient star charts, reconstructed skies from thousands of years ago, they found a correlation. The statues align with a point in the sky that used to be significant. A reference star. But that star is no longer where it used to be. Over time, due to the Earth's movement, that point has shifted. To us, today, it appears empty. Meaningless. But in the past, it may have been central. So now the statues are doing two things at once. They point to a place on Earth and a place in the sky. Both connected. Both changing over time. And that raises a deeper question. What if the location on Earth was chosen because of what it aligned within the sky? Not just geographically, but cosmically. Because when those two alignments are overlaid, Earth and sky, the is a brief window in time where everything matches perfectly. The statues. The buried structure. The position of the stars. All synchronized. A moment. Not permanent. Not repeatable in the same way. And that moment happened thousands of years ago. After that, everything drifts. Slowly. Almost invisibly. Until what once made sense becomes impossible to understand. Which is exactly where we are now. We are looking at something designed for a past alignment, trying to interpret it in the present. And it no longer fits. I remember standing there, looking at one of these statues, trying to follow its gaze. Not with instruments. Just instinct. And there was nothing. No landmark. No obvious meaning. Just empty space stretching out in front of it. But that emptiness might be the point. Because whatever it was meant to face is gone. Or moved. Or changed beyond recognition. And maybe that's the final layer of this mystery. Not that the statues are pointing somewhere, but that they are pointing to something we can no longer see. Something that required coordination across civilizations. Across generations. Across time itself. And if they were capable of that, then the real question isn't how they built the statues. It's what they knew that we don't. Because history, as we understand it, is built on what survived. But direction is what remains when everything else disappears. So the next time you see one of these statues, don't ask what it is. Ask what it's still trying to show you. And if this kind of mystery makes you think differently about the past, then you already know what to do. Like the video. Share it with someone who questions everything. And subscribe, because some directions are meant to be followed.